Hi everyone, welcome back to the Weekly SEO. Today I missed physical conferences, so I wanted to start up. How are you doing, guys?
We are fine.
Everything's good?
Hi.
I'm gonna speak like that, but I will try. Microphone is there. I'm not that far away from microphone, but I will try to do something good. Everything's good there?
The weather started to get cold today. It's snowing outside and it's so cold.
Did you play with snow?
It's not it's not enough to play.
Yeah. And when I heard there will snow in Istanbul, I didn't believe in this because yesterday it was sunny. There was weather sunny and so hot, but now it's really cold.
Yeah. How many years there wasn't snow in Istanbul?
The last week snow, I remember it back from 2016, 4 years ago, I guess, or 5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. That's been long.
Yeah.
Hey, Tugay. Welcome. Okay, I'm gonna sit down. It's gonna be more serious because.
How's weather in Chisinau?
Oh, it's minus 13 right now. I can't go outside. Even if I go right now to grab some coffee, it's like really cold. We can't sit outside.
Also,
Moldova, like always.
Moldova problems.
Yeah, I like problems like that. I can stay at home because I'm usually always in motion. I like to walk, to do something outside, but right now it's very cold, so I am staying at home. So, hi, Sumaya. Okay, let's start then. We have, we have 11 people there right now who watch our live stream. Hi, everyone, welcome. So let's introduce myself, my colleagues. My name is Roman Adamita. As a director of SEO, I am leading and encouraging the SEO team at Boostras. Also, I am working on complex issues on clients' websites.
And hi, everyone. I'm Bishra. I'm the senior SEO executive of Boostras, and I mostly work on content projects, and they sometimes call me a content queen.
And hello everyone, I'm Adem, and it was 4 months I'm working in Boostras as a SEO associate.
Welcome, Adem. So it's our 6th weekly SEO of 2021. It's gonna be since the 2022. I don't know, but we will try to do our best. Hi, Carol. So what we will cover today in our presentation, in our weekly SEO, we are gonna talk about how to find FAQ page opportunities on your website. And under this topic, I'm gonna talk about what's the FAQ page, what do I propose, how to find them with some tools like Screaming Frog, Deep Crawl, what it needs to implement, where did it get us as results.
And I will cover the topics such as content marketing journey, content strategy checklist, 4 common mistakes in content promotion.
And I will talk about Preload hero element, default font display, and or font preloading, which we should use, and the top 100 website and their CLS performance, and what are the other CLS issues, and how can we solve, and why does page speed matter?
Great. Hi, Marina. Welcome. So, what's that FAQ page? Let's start with what is not. When you search something on Google, like how to choose a law firm, it's not under the search results like these steps. It's not a FAQ page option. It's not just FAQ page or pillar page option under your search results. It's not people also ask list. It's when you write something on Google and search for that, under the standard search results, you will see there a list of questions or like subtitles. So it's about that. It's about how to find FAQ page opportunities to get a rich result on Google. So what do I propose? If you have blog posts like that, like this one, if there is some like questionable subtitles or just subtitles without question mark, then there is a FAQ page opportunity. FAQ page is like structured data, which is supported by Google, and you can see all the details in schema.org, also in developersgoogle.com. So let's find that pages, which is opportunities, which you will find opportunities in there. In case you have lots of pages and lots of blog posts or lots of landing pages with your services or whatever you sell, you can find these pages very quickly with Screaming Frog via include regex code. So there is configuration on Screaming Frog and the top menu. Click there and then custom and then extraction. So when you are there, you need to include this code, which I included right here. I can't add this code on YouTube description because it's not supportable. So you can copy this right from here, or you will find this out in our presentation after this live stream. By the way, when you click to the URL, you will see right here like H1, H2, H3, etc. So if there is question mark or just subtitles, you will find out right there. Then you can find this with deep crawl in fourth step, like advanced settings in under extraction. There is extraction and custom extraction. Then you need to include your title, like H2 to questions. And then just include the same regex code, then first match and start your crawl. So when you get the results, you will find there your FAQ page opportunities. What it needs, you need to include a code when you find out these opportunity pages. You need to include a code which you can generate with this website or another website, but I just recommend this one, like technicalseo.com schema markup generator. So there is a tool where you can get this code from the web, from this website, and also you can include that in the pages that are opportunities for FAQ page. Where did it get us? In our side, our client, we implement that code, and right after we implemented this, we have more impressions, because it's like when you want to implement a schema org structured data, your results needs to be like your impressions is growing up. So in our case, a landing page which we implemented FAQ page, the search impressions was increased in a short time, as you can see right here. So if you want to learn regex, by the way, I just find out a really good how to say that, a course or just a video with a long blog post. So I liked a lot this video because there is examples. There is a really, if you don't know anything about coding, you will find out examples like from our life. So check this out. It's from Annie Cushing. She make data sexy, so just check out.
Thank you, by the way. This was a really inspirational trick for us, for all of us. And now it's my turn, as usual, right after the Roman. And I'm going to talk about a little bit today content creation journey. And when some company or someone decide to write content or decide to publish content, where should they start from? And actually, there will be a really good checklist for this.
Great.
So here is my content marketing checklist. So content marketing does not equal to just writing the content and hit the publish button. You need to think strategically. You need to define your KPIs. You need to actually write something. You need to publish it, promote it. And of course, you need to track your content's performance, because you're not doing it as a good thing to the universe. Just you do that to promote something, to bring more traffic to your website. In terms of company content marketing thing, of course, I'm talking about. And of course, this will start with a really good, well-established content strategy, content gap analysis and mapping, editorial calendar, content creation, content promotion, and tracking. And today I will go over some of these topics, actually. And here's the Jim Carrey trying to write something. I feel like him most of the time when I got stuck over an idea and I cannot write it.
I think it's the most famous GIF from the industry.
Yeah.
Many arduous hours we are working on this. So let's start.
So I hear from many people, they're asking me, is content strategy really necessary? And they don't believe in content strategy, but actually content strategy is really important. Before creating content, before investing in content marketing, because it is not a free process, you will need to write something, you will need to hire a person maybe, or you will need to get freelance writers. So content strategy is the path you will take to meet your goals and fulfill your vision. So you define your goals and vision in the content marketing strategy as a beginning point. And also it is a checklist for what you will do and you won't do in the future. And it will be a reason for you to say no in some occasions. Because as Michael Brenner says, behind every piece of bad content is an executive who asked for it. So you will probably, if you're a content marketer, or if you are learning to be a content marketer in your company, and you need to do that, you will come across with really not interesting, boring, or unrelevant content topics coming from your managers or your co-workers. And in order to say no and persuade everyone that it won't work, you need to define your lines in your content marketing strategy. Thanks to that, you can say that, no, this is against our content strategy. And of course, it's here. The checklist is here. So I love this meme, by the way. So every content strategy should have some points, some checklist to begin with. And these are all of the things a really proper, well-structured content strategy should include. Of course, as a beginning point, you should define your goal. In other words, the mission statement. For what are you reading or writing this content, promoting this content? What is the reason behind your content marketing process? Of course, as a second step, you need to define your target audience. Maybe you have some personas or buyer journeys, demographic informations about your customers, and to integrate them to your content strategy will help you how to find your content topics, the keywords to focus on, or your content types all of throughout your website. So that's an important point, and you should consider it at the beginning. And who are the main competitors of your content marketing process. So you will, of course, compete with some other companies. So you are selling a product or a service. And of course, you will have some competitors. And right now, it's not 2005. Blogs are not for personal matters. Every company, almost every company has a blog right now. And they're trying to promote something. Each day we read the statistics last week, I guess, right, Roman? 4.4 million blog posts published every day in the world. So it's a really big market, and you should define your competitors really good at the beginning to find your goals and to keep to match your KPIs. And of course, the tone of voice should be included in the content strategy. Tone of voice is really important. You should stick with a tone in your content marketing, because you will be trying to build your brand awareness. You will trying to build an audience, and you will create identity for your brand, written identity for your brand. Or if you write something different with some different and irrelevant tones, your identity will not be relevant to the customers. They won't say that, oh, okay, I'm gonna search for something and I don't know where to begin with. If you have a really good identity, they will just say that, okay, this X brand has a really good blog and I can visit it. They probably tell about it or write about it really good, and I can get my information from there.
Yeah. Can I ask a quick question about tone of voice? What do you mean by that tone of voice in our blog posts? Like, give me an example. I am a corporate website. I have a blog, but I don't know what the hell is that tone of voice in my content. Can you give some examples?
So in English language, maybe a bad example for it because of the honor or the style of addressing to someone. In Turkish language, we have different kind of addressing. But for example, just think that you just started to write an email marketing. You are doing email marketing, and email marketing is a part of your content strategy. And like this, your tone of voice is the company's tone of voice, and you want to put a distance between you and your customer, but you want to be sincere at the same time. You will probably say, hey, Mrs. or Mr. blah blah something, and I hope you're well, blah blah, and goes on like that. This is some tone of voice. This is a formal tone of voice. Or maybe you're a toy brand, or you're a makeup brand, and you really like to some girl talk, hey girl, how are you today, and blah blah blah. And that's the informal type of tone of voice. So you should define it at the beginning and go and stick with it. And you also defining your target audience is an important part before this. If your target audience is not good with informal language, you should probably stick with the formal one. Of course, there is the roles and responsibility part in the content marketing. You cannot put all over the workload on someone. There should be a share of work here. So in terms of work and roles here, we are talking about content strategies, the person finding the content topics, the person or the same person creating the content briefs, the person who will write the contents, who will edit the contents, who will promote the contents. These are all of the responsibilities, and you should define them at the beginning. Who will do what is a really important part for a really reliable and consistent content marketing. And of course, after the responsibility part, you should also think of an editorial strategy. For example, how many blog posts will you publish in a week? How many social media shares? How many social media posts will you share weekly on your Instagram or Facebook accounts? Or how many emails will you send to your customers? These are all of the things you should combine in your editorial strategy, because if you don't have a plan, you will just forget to do something. And unfortunately, content marketing should be really consistent, because you are trying to build an audience here. And if you don't publish regularly, it will be a problem. If you are trying to be different, a different blog. Of course, company blogs can sometimes skip publishing content on their blogs for a week or two, but it's also important for the personal blogs. Everyone can listen and have something from this topic of weekly SEO, I guess. And of course, you should think of your distribution channels. When you created a content, just think that you are writing a blog strategy and you published your content. How will you distribute to reach the audience? So paid or social media or email marketing. You should define everything. For example, you can say that I just published an article, and within the week of the publish date of the article, I will send an email to inform my customers, or I will have a social media post about it within the same week. You can say things like that. Of course, if you will make content marketing all over a website, not just talking about a blog here, you should define some KPIs, because measurement is really important. You cannot understand whether the content you're writing is effective or not without defining a KPI here. And in terms of KPI, this is a matter of question everywhere. Everyone is asking about it. There's a lot of questions. How can you measure my content? Okay, there's some basic things to measure. First one is, of course, the traffic, the visibility, the impression, maybe the average time on page, maybe, or whether the attribution of your content to the conversion process of your blog. Okay, you can check it from your Google Analytics account if you have the proper setup for it, with the help of custom reports, etc., etc. And of course, we have the last part. And most of the people think that content optimization should not be a part of content strategy, but it should be, because if you do not match your KPIs, you will have problems. This is a problem. Okay, we did something wrong. What will we do about this content? It's the thinking point. So you should return and update your content if it's necessary.
Yeah.
So the next steps, we created our content strategy, and probably the best part after creating the content strategy is to look for some topics, make some keyword research. Maybe since you define your competitors in your content strategy, you can just check your competitors and make a gap analysis for them. Which keywords can you steal from them, or which keywords can you improve to get rank better than them, etc. And when you gather all of this stuff, you can create your content mapping. In terms of content mapping, actually, I'm saying that if you need different kinds of topics, you need to create a map for it. You can create it according to your sales funnel, or just you can create it as an editorial calendar. You can combine the both. And the last part is of editorial calendar. You should really create a really effective editorial calendar to combine all of the responsible people about the content marketing process, and everyone should stick with the content calendar. Even the writers, if you are using freelance writers. And
yep.
This diagram is actually from the pattern from Drovio, but I just changed the content funnel a little bit. You can check it. It's a really good example of content.
And that looks great, by the way, Büşra.
Thanks. By the way, this is not the content funnel I promised. I remember a few weeks ago I promised about a really effective content funnel in the sales funnel inspired from Aleyda Solis. I will do it in the future. But this is not it. So you have everything. You have your editorial calendar. You have some time set to publish content. And the last part is, of course, the content creation. And content creation is another big dilemma for us. Okay, you should think of some points here. And this is the content creation checklist I can suggest for you. Okay, you may write for B2B or B2C, may differ, but in all of the content types, we mostly tend to offer some proof in our texts, or use some research data or the data we acquired from our test, because when we, especially in this sector, the SEO sector and content marketing sector, when we try to promote an idea and if we don't have a proof about it, most of the time people don't care about it. And they don't share or they don't like it. We don't have a really good impression from that type of piece of content. And actually, as the use of data, I can say that Brian Dean is really good at it in the content marketing. SEMrush blog is really good at this point, and everyone reads about it. You can just go and visit them and understand what I'm talking about here, actually, the use of data. Of course, you can always add the ideas of other experts. If you are in a B2B company and you are talking about B2B, you can also add some customer testimonials in your content, or any other stuff, some videos, some infographics, enrich your content, etc., etc. Of course, you should also always think about SEO and user intent while writing about it. And as I mentioned 5 minutes ago, it's not 2005. We are not writing about our daily schedules on our personal blogs. So these are company blogs, and I know companies want to tell about themselves, but this is not the place in it. It's the About Us page. This is the brand awareness building page, and you should provide information for the visitors. So I love the white, by the way. I really love the white in Office. I don't know whether you watch it or not, but it's really good. And at the promotion part, people tend to make mistakes, content promotion part. And these are the 4 common mistakes in content promotion, actually. Most of the time, people try to get short-term traffic, and also Tim Solo calls it the spike of hope, and sudden increase in our traffic chart and sudden decrease in our traffic chart. It's not a successful way to say that our content is working. So we should aim for continuous traffic trend line here, not just a spike and then nothing at the second day. And the second mistake is giving up on content promotion too early. Okay, we just promote the we just hit the publish button and published our content, and we just send an email about it, and we maybe published something, a social media post about it, and okay, it's done. I put it in the universe, and I know everyone will find it somehow magically and love it, but it's not like that. So periodically, you should go back to your content and think of promoting it in different ways. Actually, unicorn content marketing is a really good way to do it. If you have a really good and working content, just think of repurposing it in different formats. For example, if you have a really successful blog post, just turn it into an infographic and share it on social media, or turn it into an YouTube video and publish it on YouTube account, your company's YouTube account, to get more traffic, etc. Because people love watching something nowadays, and we get lazy. And the last and final mistake we made most of the time is not spending money on content promotion. Okay, I know content marketing, content writing is not free. We need to hire someone maybe, but if we are an early beginner on content marketing, and if our website is just slightly new with no domain authority, we may need some help with the paid promotion channels, and we should consider it. Without that, we cannot be successful. And that's all for today, folks, from me, I guess. This is my final slide. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Really brilliant tricks here.
Thanks.
Okay, so welcome to the Core Web Vitals world. And today, the hero element is one of our topic. And as you know, the Preload code is a command that allows you to load the elements you want to prioritize in the loading phase. And that's actually a movie website and Greyhound, and there's a poster there. But if you are connecting this website on the mobile side, and, you can't see this picture while loading, you know. And that's a problem for meaningful pains. So and it can help us solve the problem here. This hero element loading too late, and which occurs on most websites, like this website, and also lots of problems we can see, and lots of industry, and lots of variable websites. So we need to check something, and you know, if we are optimizing something for our page speed, probably we checked our image size also. So in this problem, our image can be very large size, and we need to optimize it first. Then we need to figure out whether this is due to the slider or not. And if there's a slider at the top of our website, we need to remove it, because slider can be a problem for us. But you know, that's a critical change, and people, maybe web developer, don't want it, or brands don't wanna remove the slider there. But at least we can move it the bottom of our website also. And that's if we don't have also a slider here, and it's loading so slow, so we can use Preload here, and we can load our image first up before all JavaScript and CSS documents.
Yeah.
And actually, it is the most necessary features in terms of page speed, and also for meaningful painting, and also for our user experience. In yesterday's webinar, I hope I can pronounce it well, Pardosh presented us a great performance report with the example of the PlayStation website. And if you haven't, you can follow it, and you learn more about website page speed improvement step by step with this webinar, and with the hero element optimized. And we can also look at the font size after this slide. Okay, in fact, there are many different uses in terms of user experience in loading fonts. However, preloading fonts is highly recommended by Google, but for cumulative layout shift, and because it also elevates the critical request chain in our website. And I found a blog post here that's for CSS user experience. Actually, it describes 3 alternatives ways, and of course we need to choose a Preload font here, because another options can be problem for our website. And because the font we are using here is a Gilroy, and if you are using default CSS code here, like I get a better UX job, you know, when a customer load this website, probably they will like the font appear in their desktop as a default font, like what they have. For example, Arial, Roboto, maybe Helvetica. But our font is here, Gilroy, and our font can be wider and can be more narrow, you know, and it can be shift on our mobile side, and that's also like harmful for our CLS metrics. And another CSS feature we have here, that's font display in our CSS structure. And in this case, if you use with Swap, there will be flash of unstyled text, because it's also like default. And I didn't put any example in this slide, but I put the URL. It's a blog post here. Actually, there are really good three example of this website. And if you use block in font face here, that will be flash of invisible text also, because we will block our font when a customer load this page, and they won't see any font in the front end. and that's a problem for us, also for meaningful pain. But what can we do in this area? We can preload our font like as our hero element, and without unstyled and without any changing in our font, we can just put our Gilroy font type here, and we can preload our font. That's the better way for our speed, page speed, and also for our user experience. And I used a screenshot from the webinar I mentioned earlier, like what Bartush gave an example from the PlayStation website. And in fact, as you can see from this graph, the websites still have great difficulties in cumulative layout sheets metrics, and news websites actually come at the top of this list, because problems such as more text, much more visuals, and much more ads, and maybe more dynamic structure cause this. And all news websites are already in a bad shape. And so if we are a news website, we shouldn't I optimize my website? Of course, I need to optimize, because I shared the tweet from John Miller, actually the last SEO Weekly, and then it's useful to remind this tweet. Yeah, let's remember, there are no metric change in the Core Web Vitals calculations according to your website category or according to your website industry. So what does it mean? So this is like the question asked by the Twitter user, and news websites and another media all have a CLS problem. They all have cumulative layout shift problem. So is there a website specific metric at this point? This value will not be 0.75 for news website. Well, what's the normal metrics? If your website cumulative layout shift metrics more than 0.25, that's a problem for you. But Google Core Web Vitals or Lighthouse calculations cannot say you if you you're a news website or you're a media platform, and you can be 0.75 in this metric, because your industry is all your website in your industry, they have really bad cumulative layout sheet. They don't say that, and this metrics is for every website and for every category. Is it won't differentiate in these metrics. Okay, one of the most common problem we encounter on news website, as we mentioned the last slide, and that's a cumulative layout shift problem. So why? Because maybe this website have many advertising spaces like grids, for example, and there are factors that negatively actually affect many different CLS metrics, such as pop-ups, banners, like dynamic grids, maybe, as I mentioned, also like fonts. And on this side, we definitely need to know the width and the height of our images, videos, and add spaces, maybe, and iframes and embed elements. And at this point, there may be many different problems we experience. For example, you may not able to interfere with the embed codes, like JavaScript files provided by your ads provider also, because that's the source JavaScript code and you cannot change it. And in fact, it's one of the parts where news websites suffer, because you have lots of ads provider, maybe it's different, and you cannot change everything here. And also you have many advertising spaces, and you need to resolve this issue with your maybe ad provider, or you need to remove your ad. Actually, I watched the webinar again in partnership, like only agency, how they solve this problem. They said we remove the ads. That's maybe sometimes this can be solution, guys. You know,
the solution sometimes is very simple, or just
yeah.
implement AMP.
Like, but brands can think about that, like, oh my god, that's ads, and we are gaining money here. But guys, like after this algorithm change, maybe you won't perform very well, so you won't also gain money from these ads. You know, sometimes you need to sometimes removing is the solution. I'm sorry, but that's the fact.
Sometimes removing it will bring you more money than
Yeah.
your advertisers.
That's so true. And actually also, like, how can we solve other problems? We need to define a field for our elements that will be loaded later. You need to define the space there, like width and height also. And if we don't make this definition, a shift will appear here when our elements is loaded, and it also is harmful for our CLS metrics. And we need to our font optimization that I mentioned in the previous slide, and we need to prevent changes here by loading our fonts and with Preload and making our font display optional. It mustn't change, you know. It must be font display optional, because there will be again a problem for our font, like it will be invisible, and it will be like how can I say, like unstyled. That's our problem for our CLS.
Okay. So thank you, Adam. Thank you very much, attendees, all of you. We finished it. If you want to ask anything and want to get some answers in our next live stream, you can ask us everything regarding SEO, PPC, or something else about content marketing maybe, or about site migration questions. So thank you very much. There is the link to ask if you want to ask something. So thank you for being with us. Thank you, Büşra, Adam, for sharing your expertise.
Thank you. And
Thank you.
And see you next week on Friday.
Have a nice
Have a nice weekend.